All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Wono and Mongoose Pleb Fiesta. Tonight, gonna bring you a game between Counterpick Stupid and Team Training Wheels. We're starting a little bit late, so I'm gonna get right into it. Our first game here is gonna be on Volskaya Foundry. I believe that was picked by Counterpick Stupid. So we are ready to go here. Twitch.tv/Arrow of the Storm. Training Wheels. There we go. Make sure everybody's aware, and get this matchup going. And I should probably switch the names. Update the information. All right, now we got CCS on the left. We have Team Training Wheels on the right. So, what do we got going on here? Well, this is a Pleb Fiesta, and so as part of that, each of the 8 teams selected at the beginning of the season one hero to ban. So taking a look at those bans, we can go ahead and turn those off because those aren't relevant. Taking a look at those bans, all 8 of these heroes are out. You can't pick any of them. Now, in addition to that, each hero that's banned in the first game carries over to game 2 and to game 3, if there is a game 3. So right out of the gate here, let's get into this draft. Right out of the gate, we've got a Johanna ban. So we're losing a front line right away, along with that Nubrak and Garrosh. So a lot of the tanks already, the more common tanks anyways, being taken out. Followed up by the Ana. Alice wants to provide her feedback and let everybody know that it's a wonderful evening. It's 10:52 out here on the East Coast, and Arthas going to be the next ban. So this is something that I've seen a couple of the games do, where they, because these bans carry over, especially early, they look at banning out specific roles. And the reason for that is, of course, because when you ban out, say, all of the tanks, then in the later games, you start to get these really just wacky comps. You know, where you start looking at maybe an Uther tank or a front line that includes like a Ragnaros Butcher. Who knows what kind of craziness you get in the Pleb Fiesta this evening. So our first pick is going to be Anduin. Hey, cut it out. That's enough. Apparently I'm talking too much. She wants to provide her own feedback. So it's difficult even to provide thoughts and ideas on what the teams might go for, because in the Pleb Fiesta, just about anything is possible. So we see a Kael'thas and a Muradin, so looking to get that tank selection early coming out from CCS. They want to make sure that they've got an option for tanks, because we've already seen 4 of them banned. If I remember correctly, there's only 11 total tanks. Tassadar Greymane, so gonna kind of go deep into that Greymane with the Anduin and Tassadar. And Greymane, you know, really does get benefit with the Anduin because he can just kind of dive in and not have to worry too much. He'll get a shield out of Tassadar. He's got the Anduin to pull him back if he does get into too much danger. Hanzo being banned. So the other thing to keep in mind is that, of course, because these there you go, because these bans carry through to the next game, you can kind of build your strategy around, like, if you feel like you're more comfortable. This was the map selection, by the way, of CCS. So if you feel like you're more comfortable on this map, that you can kind of play whatever around what the other team has, you know, maybe this is where you kind of ban out and you use your bans in the first game for game number 2. Well, okay then. We've got a Cho'Gall coming out on Volskaya Foundry. So Volskaya Foundry is a 3-lane map. Typically, you don't see a lot of Cho'Gall on the 3-lane maps, especially in a circumstance here with the Protector. But I would expect almost that they might put, I don't know, Tassadar Anduin into the Protector? Maybe? That way you don't lose all your siege coming out of that Greymane. Kind of an interesting setup. I wouldn't have expected a Cho'Gall here, which is why they did it. You've got extra bonus healing coming out from the team for this, from the Tassadar, from the Anduin. Of course, Cho'Gall himself does a fair amount of self-healing, so I don't think I'm gonna get... I might be able to. See if I can get the player pop-up windows. I'm gonna not say a whole lot here for a second as I try to get these in. And Confused is on Gall. Alpha's Cho. Now is Tassadar. Okay. Murden. And Alex Straza. All right, cool, excellent. I got the player pop-up window just in time. Let's go ahead and get over to the game page. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1 on Volskaya Foundry. For Can't Counterpick Stupid, we've got Valkymer playing the Murden, Silma on Leoric, Osprey on Lunara, Born to Shine on Alex Straza, and Odd Thought on Kael'thas. And for Team Training Wheels over here, we have Zhao on Tassadar, we've got Confused on Gall, Seraph on Cho, Taco Cat on the Anduin, and Michaelin on Greymane. Serused. That's kind of an almost unfortunate name to start off the game with on your Cho'Gall. Throwing out the B-steps from Taco Cat. It's time to play some games. It's a pleb fiesta. We got sprays. Everybody's here for a good time tonight. And let's see. What is that? The reduced... Oh, now that's the increased duration on the shove. So rotation's going to start happening soon here for the... Anduin's going to go up and clear that lane, but we've got Greymane and Tassadar down here putting damage in on the Leoric, forcing that Leoric back into his wall. And it'll be interesting to see how this 4v3 goes. If they're going to continue to keep this going, that would provide a lot of pressure in that bot lane if they can get it. And of course, bot lane is very important on this map, just like any other. Especially as you get into that third protector, that third control point. If they can get significant damage on this bot lane, that gives them a huge advantage at a point in the game that almost always decides who's going to win. And don't forget here, we can see the color circle beneath Gall, or Cho'Gall, with right now he's in that tank mode. So when it's orange circle, he gets 25 armor. When it's a purple circle, Gall gets 25% more damage. So especially right now in this kind of 4v3 or right now 3v2 setup, you want to have that armor to kind of slow down what the enemy can do. And here we see a rotation from Lunara and Alex, as well as Kael'thas, all coming down here, looking to kind of get some counter on this pressure. Because again, look at that. They've already got one tower down. They got the whole wall in the second tower. And Michaelin going in deep, trying to finish off the Leoric, but he doesn't have go for the throat yet. So that is not going to be a dead, undead character. And Michaelin and Zhao coming over here to get the turret camp. Zhao just providing his contribution of a shield, as Serused with Taco Cat coming up here, keeping this soak rotation going on, making sure that they're staying in that XP game. So we've got both teams have their turrets, and Anduin's coming over here working on this camp. That's going to take quite a while, I would think, for him. But here comes Big Fatty Cho'Gall carrying that horse with him to get over here. And the 4 members of CCS coming over here looking to get this lane pushed up. They probably have some idea that they went to get that camp, so this gives them a little bit of a chance to get some time on the point if they can send somebody down as they start to get some damage on the tower. And Team Training Wheels a little bit ahead in the XP game there, as the bot lane apparently they just dove in and got the Leoric there. So we do get first blood onto the undead Skeleton King there. With that turret now, they're saying, you know what, let's ignore this control point. Both teams are, and already half of the bottom fort is just gone. And with that advantage here, they're working on this heal camp, but 4v3 is just not going to end well. But again, the Leoric kill in the bot lane is Zhao and Michaelin really putting the pressure on Silma. The heal camp that was started by Training Wheels, Seryused, and Taco Cat manages to be invaded by Can't Counterpick Stupid as they bring all 4 of their others to the point here. And now we're starting to get this control point. Muradin's on the point, but they've already lost his bottom fort. And once again, Silma in trouble as Greymane and Tassadar, Michaelin and Zhao just dropping him super low. But also, Michaelin and Zhao also very low, so they've actually got to put themselves back to hearthing here. So just about 50% it looks like for Can't Counterpick Stupid on the control point. And this is where it's going to start getting juicy. We're going to start seeing some fighting here as 4v3 on this control point. Valkymer going in on that Cho'Gall. He gets rooted by Anduin, however. And now we're starting to see some of those rune bombs. And we do have the Rune Bomb quest and the Shadow Flame quest from Cho'Gall. So once those get stacked, it's going to be a lot of damage coming out of Gall. Well, a lot more damage. There's a lot of potential there. We also see the Wizened Duelist for Greymane. Probably a really good pick for, you know, if he's going to be going against Leoric. That's just a free stacking target, basically. Back into the fight as Greymane went back to get the fortification camp. We do see the Leap of Faith onto Cho'Gall, pulling him out of the chaos arena that was created there. And Lunara's vision is going to catch Greymane trying to flank in, but Cho'Gall's going to dive in deep. Valkymer's in trouble there, leaps away, and Michaelin still about 20% health, but so is Cho'Gall. And there's only so much healing you can get as Living Bomb is spreading for days. Alright, so it looks like this first control point's gonna go over to Can't Counterpick Stupid, but I gotta say, they've already taken out that bottom fort. This is a big win for Team Training Wheels. All they had to do was just delay this. They're a little bit ahead in XP, about a quarter of a level ahead in XP. So, you know, if they can keep that going, they're gonna be in a really strong position. Now, the second control point, both teams should be 10 well before then. The second control point is going to be an interesting game. You've got the what I assume will be upheaval coming out from Cho'Gall. Go for the throat. You know, anybody gets anywhere close to low and they just die. So we'll see how this turns out. And now they're starting to get in here. They're going for that traditional focus on that well, get the turrets down, you know, get this top lane opened up a little bit for that second turret. Michaelin very low, dodges the laser, but Lunara's damage is just ticking away. He needs one more heal out of the Anduin, but it's just not coming. So there go half of his Wizened Duelist stacks. And we do see, just as a note there, the bold strategy out of Anduin. In this case, that cost Greymane his life. But we've got a 4v3 under this tower, and there's the thing that I can't remember it's called. But the upheaval pulls them in, and the entomb onto Cho'Gall. The Sanctuary from Anduin doesn't really provide a whole ton of benefit, but it does give a protect for Cho'Gall for a bit there. And we're starting to see some of these heroics come online. So it was the Twisting Nether from for Gall, the upheaval for Cho, the Sanctuary for Anduin. We didn't see it, but he did use the Archon for Tassadar. Oh, and Silma's in trouble here. Let's go for the throat time, baby. Well, now that's for Team Training Wheels. For King Counterpick Stupid, let's take a look at what we got up here. So we've got the Phoenix from Kael'thas, Leaping Strike out of Lunar. We've seen that a couple times. The Cleansing Flame for Alexstrasza, the Entomb, of course, for Leoric. There's the route onto the Muradin, but it's not going to get any follow-up. The Entomb goes into Cho'Gall. The leap over, getting some dot damage there, providing a lot of value. 5 men, oh my goodness, pulls everybody in with that upheaval, and Greymane finishing off the Kael'thas. That's a highlight. Would have been more of a highlight if it was a full team wipe, though. That's a level 20 upgrade team wipe for sure. Let's see. And then, of course, Avatar for Muradin. So, you know, they only netted 1 kill, but they had so many people just dead, basically. I mean, they were 10% health, that there was nothing, no more value that could be picked up from CCS on that push. But they did get it to about 20%. That fort's down. Cho'Gall's coming back in, so I imagine that they're going to be looking to fight over this, as now the rest of the other teams coming in here as well. So we've got 5v5 here. The healing camp is almost done, so they want to get onto this point, get the XP. There's the Sanctuary keeping Cho'Gall alive. The Twisting Nether goes out, keeping him all slowed, but also a big burst of damage in there as Osprey manages to steal away the healing camp, and it's Cho'Gall that's in trouble, very low, as Cho will go down on the point, and Osprey will pay for it, but drops the emitter to save his team, as now Michaelin is in danger with so many of the team following him. King Counterpick Stupid want this kill. Michaelin has been just shredding them, but they're not gonna get it. The leap, oh, but he's running on a conveyor belt. But the leap of faith will save him as Muradin starts to take shots from the fort. And here we are with the second control point coming up. Level 13's online now for Team Training Wheels. Again, they are still ahead in this XP. And don't forget, we do have occasional catapult pressure coming in this bot lane. So Osprey coming down here to deal with this, as Greymane starts working on their fortification camp, and it looks like Leoric's probably about to do the same. So up in the top, we've got a 4v3 in favor of the Training Wheels. And they will get started on their point here. So 14 stacks on the Rune Bomb for Cho'Gall, 17 on the Shadow Flame. So just a reminder, once you get to 20 on that Rune Bomb, you get additional distance by 20%, and your Rune Bomb moves 20% faster. The Shadow Flame quest reduces your cooldown, so that makes it so that you're hitting those Qs that much more often. And at 13 there, it looks like, yeah, 2% max health. So those Qs are hitting more often, and they're doing more damage to the Muradin. For King Counterpick Stupid, we've got 24 stacks for Muradin on his base quest, 25 for Kael'thas's Mana Addict, so he's got that shield available when he needs it. And this second control point right now is looking like it's going to go over to Team Training Wheels, but Leoric Wraith walks in to put it into overtime. And here we go. Now we've got a turret down from CCS. The Entomb goes out, catches Michael, and he's got to drop that turret if he wants to get any value. The Sanctuary manages to keep them all healthy. The wall prevents that upheaval from getting any significant value. And the Twisting Nether gets some damage, but no deaths yet, as Greymane finds the Leoric kill here at the bottom. Don't forget you have that turret. This fight could have gone faster for you, as Greymane finishing the job on Kael'thas, followed by Muradin, Born to Shine, trying to get that healing circle. But that werewolf is just too strong. Alright, so who's going in it? Cho's gonna ride, Anduin's gonna take the DPS. So you've now got Gall being able to occasionally throw out his Qs and Ws, but no Rune Bombs for him. Michaelin once again in trouble, though, as the Entomb goes out, but it's gonna be the Silma going down between the damage between Tassadar and Greymane, and they got the kill onto Lunar as well with the cocktail. Somebody stop this train coming out of this Greymane. Juking the hammer toss from Valkymer. Michaelin is just a beast, pun entirely intended. And look at that, 29 stacks on the Wizened Duelist. Just a couple more auto attacks, and that's full. And he is just destroying the team at this point. Look at this. Silma goes down. Oddthought in trouble. One or two more autos, and there it goes. Born to Shine getting wrecked between the Punisher, Protector, and the Greymane damage as the first keep goes down. So much value here. And Michaelin doesn't have a lot of health, but he does still have a Tassadar. Look at how much, let's take a look at how much damage he's doing in his auto attacks. 500 damage in Worgen form, and those attacks come quickly when you've got Inner Beast going. So here comes CCS. They're going to try to save their core, but there's so much damage going out, and Michaelin just sitting on that core, getting that damage in, and that's going to be game one. 13 minutes and 43 seconds going over to Team Training Wheels. That was exciting. That was holy cow level of exciting. It started off strong, getting that bottom fort. Oh, let's get the stats. Sorry, my friends. There you go, stats. So 315 on the kills. 60k damage almost out of that Greymane. Just absolutely bonkers. Take a look at those talents here. We did see the Alpha Killer again. 3% of the hero's max health. Really solid when you've got a Leoric and a Muradin and you're hitting so quickly. Let's go ahead and update these bans here real quick here. So the blue team that game had banned Ana, Sylvanas, and Hanzo. And the red team had banned out Johanna, Arthas, and Varian. So again, just as a reminder, these heroes are banned for the entirety of the tournament. Not the tournament, but tonight's match. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and update that. So that went to the red team. Is that showing? That is not showing. Why isn't that showing? There we go. Let's see if that updates. There we go. Alrighty, so that was the red team. So now Can't Counterpick Stupid gets to choose whether they want first pick or map pick. So that was their map pick. So we'll have to see what they've got going on. And if they want to do something similar, if they want to, you know, pick another map. Again, you know, right now they've got quite a hero band selection. It looks like we're all set up and ready to go. It looks like they did go with map pick. We're going to Infernal Shrines. Let me just remind them who's banned. Johanna, Arthas, Varian, Ana, Sylvanas, and Hanzo. So, so we're up to 14 bans. 8 globally, 6 from the last game. And now they're going to add to it. They got 6 more. So I fully expect to see more tank choke. What is it? Who's Shamu? We have random people invading the... Who is Shamu? Invading the lobby here. Just showing up into the game. All right. There we go. All right, so we had random people showing up into the lobby. Sorry for the silence there as we were trying to lock that down. Having people show up into the lobby, always a little awkward. And here we go into the next round here. So just as a quick reminder here, we've got the 8 global bans, and we've got Ana, Sylvanas, Hanzo, Johanna, Arthas, and Varian. And we did pop right into our draft here, so right out of the gate, continuing the tank choke, Muradin. So we did see out of CCS Ana, Sylvanas, Hanzo, so a little bit more on the snipers, the bow users, bowmen, I guess, maybe. So I expect them to continue to band out those kind of heroes, as we do see the Greymane, and that doesn't surprise me at all because Greymane was absolutely just on a tear that game. There was nothing that they could do. He helped to push down that first fort in the bot lane, managed to get multiple kills onto Leoric, and Leoric just had to accept it. Just nothing could be done about it. And then as the duelist stacks increased, was able to just shred the entire enemy team. Continuing with our tank bans, we've now got Stitches. So we still have Blaze, we have Mal'Ganis, we have Garrosh, we have ETC, Cho, obviously. Tracer gonna be the second ban. It's not a map I generally think of with Tracer, but that doesn't mean anything. This is Pleb Fiesta, anything goes. And Lunara's gonna go ahead and switch sides, going over to the training wheels. Confused picking that one up. Who's next? Do you pick up your tank here? Gonna get that Garrosh? Maybe an ETC? Probably ETC. Oh, Valkymer is ripping the Uther tank. I mentioned it earlier. They didn't want to wait until game 3 for this. And Genji carries him, so going deep into that dive. Oh, and by the way, also Gul'dan. So Gul'dan's good for the wave clear on the points, so that's gonna be good for them. Right now, I guess Lunara is really the primary clear for the training wheels. Going on the Genji. There's that Cho ban. I thought it might happen. Personally, like, there were some good plays, but I didn't feel like Cho was the death sentence that game. But certainly, you know, if they don't want to play against it, if they felt like that was a strong part of that team comp, then yeah, get rid of it. And there went the ETC. So we have now banned out 6 of the tanks, in addition to the 2 that were banned in original global bans. Oh, yeah, there's Diablo. How could I forget Diablo? So Odd Thought rolling on the Kerrigan. I have a feeling they're gonna switch some things around on me, but that Uther Kerrigan could be interesting. Now, Born to Shine does not play Uther, so I expect that Uther is not going to be the primary healer. And there's that Blaze I mentioned as well. So the Malthael, the Blaze, they can help with that wave clear. The Lunara with the Nature's Culling gives them some value there, so we'll see how this turns out for them. For the other side, I'm expecting a Brightwing, actually. No? No? Born, you're killing me! All right, then. I thought for sure that being one of Born's top heroes, going into a Genji, I thought that the Brightwing was going to happen, especially with the Uther. But, all right, well, we'll see. They'll get that pustule to help the diving in Kerrigan and the diving in Diablo. Whole lot of diving on both of these teams. Blaze is charging in, Malthael's doing his Wraith Strike. You got Genji Swift Striking. You know, there's just there's gonna be all kinds of stuff going on. Let's make sure everybody's on the right thing here. So Cyril from Blaze. Yeah, it looks like everybody's good. Kerrigan, Osprey. Good. Cool. All right. We are set and ready to go for game number 2, Infernal Shrines. Teams are loading in. If you didn't notice there, you got Team Training Wheels has a couple of people with those Heroes of the Dorm banners, whatever you want to call them, the portraits. So for Can't Counterpick Stupid, we've got Valkymer rolling that Uther, Silma playing Diablo, Osprey on Gul'dan, Born to Shine on Stukov, and Odd Thought on Kerrigan. And for Team Training Wheels, we've got Seraph on Blaze, Taco Cat on Karazim, Zhao on Malthael, Michaelin on Genji, and Confused on Lunara. And Uther looks to be heading straight to the top, looking for that soak, and he's going Hammer of the Righteous. And Echoed Corruption for Gul'dan, getting a big fat 4 stacks in the first 15 seconds of the game. We do see that Unstoppable. Is that called New Habits? Yeah, it's New Habits. And then the Insight build for Karazim, so we'll see how that turns out for them. And Diablo charges in on the Blaze, gets the knock into the wall, pulls him into the Silence. And Seraph is dropping pretty low, but Karazim keeps him up, as well as his own fire. Genji kind of being a little cheeky here with his Malthael, looking for any potential rotation. I guess they just don't know that Valkymer's up here, because he hasn't actually done anything. He's still at 0 stacks, and now he knows. And here comes the Genji looking for it, hops over the wall, and suddenly Valkymer's in a little bit of a sketchy situation. He's a little far forward for that, trying to safe soak that XP. 60-10, there he goes. First blood onto the Uther. There's nobody for that trait value to get any benefit there. And here we've got 2 to 3 members just walking by the Lunara Wisp. They don't care. They're willing to allow them to have that vision. There you go. Back up in the top lane, Osprey taking over the role of the solo laner as Zhao and Michaelin are once again sharking around for that kill. But Michaelin is going to go ahead and follow after the Gul'dan, and got to be careful there on that deflect, as you do get a whole bunch of extra damage if you're life draining through it. So both Michaelin and Osprey a little bit low on the health. Go Confused, go. Exactly, right? Root for the home team. I don't know which home team, or which team's the home team, technically. So we've got Insight build Karazim working on his stacks on the Shaman camp. And up here, Valkymer rolling that solo lane Uther. Looking forward to that D-Storm coming up later in the game. And both teams did get their mid camps here. Genji coming over to help out Taco Cat because he was taking a bit of damage and took him a little bit of time. Almost done with the first half of his Insight stacks there. As Lunara a little bit forward there. Confused is saying, hey, you know what, I'm stepping back. I don't want to deal with all 4 of you. And our first shrine is activating. It's going to be an Arcane Punisher. And since it's up in the top, we've got Can't Counterpick Stupid looking to come down here, get this bottom camp. But there are 3 of Team Training Wheels down here. Karazim and Genji. The Genji gets stunned into the wall, flipped over. He's very low on health. Gonna have to be careful there as Genji gets silenced and can't get out of it before the lurking arm finishes the job. And so now Team Training Wheels has got to come down here and clear this up. But Blaze right now is getting a start on these stacks. He's at 5, 6 stacks already here. Uther's trying to keep this Shaman camp from getting any value onto their walls. And picking up that XP on the way. They're slightly ahead for Counterpick Stupid. And Blaze getting a solid 9 by himself there. He had a fair amount of time to do so. But as we saw in game 1 here, it almost looked like, yeah, they were. Team Training Wheels is getting some pressure already in bot lane. They got one of those towers down. Seraph, though, is in a little bit of trouble, but Valkymer not quite able to stop that jet propulsion out. Tried to body block him, but he was able to sneak by along that wall. So 24-10 now, but only two people here from Team Training Wheels, and Genji jumping in, trying to get better positioning to throw out those shuriken onto Uther. And Uther already at half, and Uther into Lunara doesn't have a lot of value, but when you add on the Stukov, that helps a ton. All right, so Arcane Punisher looking for that flip. They jump it over onto Taco Cat and getting some corruption damage out there. Michaelin getting a Swift Strike into the team as level 7 comes online now for Can't Counterpick Stupid, or at least Gul'dan finally picked his talent. Big 2-man stun onto Seraph and Taco Cat from the Punisher, but everybody's a little far back. Uther tried to do a dance with Malthael in the mid lane there, and you know, Malthael can soak both with this on a pale horse. He gets that extra movement speed. He's able to soak that mid and bot. But look at this, Valkymer getting very low, doesn't know that Genji's right next to him, or at least doesn't seem to know. And there is 2 heals, so he is out of the potential healing, but it doesn't matter, they can't quite get enough damage to take him down. And Zhao's gonna get this camp going in the mid lane. Seraph gets pulled back by the Kerrigan, and there's a stun from Uther. Jet propulsion hits 3, and Valkymer very low, is having to stay pretty far back here. And Genji jumping in, trying to see if he can keep that damage going. And now we've got 2 different fights. We've got Genji versus Odd Thought and Valkymer in the bot here, and the rest of Team Training Wheels trying to get some value from the other 3 here. Confused, throwing out those I don't even know what it's called. Like, her auto attacks throwing out the not Nature's Calling, but the dot damage onto Silma, onto Osprey, and now Born to Shine and Odd Thought having to back out here because Taco Cat and Seraph coming in, looking to take this over. They want this, and the big silence is gonna slow them down, but it's not gonna do enough damage to really stop them. Recyclic, welcome to the chat. Glad you could be here. Thanks for joining us this evening. I hope you're having a pleasant and wonderful evening. Bot lane, time to get this camp going, and of course we did see that he finished that insight. Diablo misses the stun on his shadow charge. This is a 3v3. Jet propulsion goes in, does not miss the stun, and gets the combustion out onto all 3 of them, so they're all very slow here. Silma and Odd Thought in danger. Odd Thought goes down. Diablo shoves Seraph into that wall, but here's Osprey, has no health, but manages to life drain his way mostly back up, but Lunara and Genji finish that job. All of the heroics down now for Team Training Wheels. Let's take a look at what we got. So we got Leaping Strike, we got Last Rites, we got X Strike, we've got Combustion, and we see the 7-sided. That's for Team Training Wheels. For Can't Counterpick Stupid, we did not get D-Storm. I'm most disappointed as Diablo flips and charges Taco Cat into that wall. The silence manages to keep him from jumping out. The pull coming in just a little bit late on that stun from Kerrigan, but we did get a stun from both Uther and Diablo, confused in a little bit of a dangerous place, but able to leap over her opponent. And now it's Valkymer that's low. Looks like Team Training Wheels is going to go ahead and back out here. Mostly? Yeah, okay. So we've got the Divine Shield coming from Uther, the APOC for Diablo, Ultralisk for Kerrigan, Horrify for Gul'dan, and the Flailing Swipe for Stukov. Getting that shoving arm out there. So Michelin holding this bush. I don't know if he knows that Uther's there, but either way. And this Frozen Punisher is up here and ready to go. Nobody electing to take it, but Valkymer is in a tight spot here. APOC going out, followed up by 7-sided from the other team. The Divine Shield gets popped onto Valkymer. Split up quite significantly here as the Jet Propulsion goes out and finishes off the Uther. Valkymer going back to the graveyard. Flailing Swipe used to disengage, but ultimately that last rites will finish off Diablo from Malthael. And now this Frozen Punisher will begin. And Genji finishes his Shuriken quest. Let's take a look at these talents again. See what they're taking now. Got the Spell Shield out of Lunara. 7-sided manages to dodge the Kerrigan combo. Not a lot of threat coming out of CCS right now because they're very split, but Genji trying to finish off this Gul'dan and actually is going to be able to manage to pull it off. So it's dangerous for CCS at this point to be too far forward between the Jet Propulsion, the Kerosene dive, the Genji dive, and even if they're not too far forward, even if they're right next to their fort, that Punisher leap just does so much stun time as Kerrigan gets pulled off by last rites. Uther was just too far into that and takes tons of damage. And there's still 3/4 of this Punisher health. Leaps over onto the Gul'dan, and they're trying to get this wall down as quickly as possible because as things have gone, they might be able to just grab a kill if somebody gets stuck in a root someplace here or a stun from the Punisher. And the Punisher's going to jump any moment now. There it is. Gets 2 onto Diablo and Gul'dan, but they're looking at this fort. There goes the fort. Taco Cat throwing out that 7-sided. Jet Propulsion doesn't hit anybody, but gets him right up there. 3 stuns out of that APOC. Unstoppable popped onto Malthael, trying to get out there. He's very low, but the X-Strike goes out, finishes off the Uther. Zhao backing away, only a few hundred health. Odd Thought gets a big pull onto 3, but pays for it with his life. Osprey trying to get that dot damage out. They've got catapults, they have loads of goats, and the Jet Propulsion again hits both of these two up here. Born to Shine Osprey getting just demolished from the damage. The Blaze gets flipped, charges back into Diablo, so manages to stay alive, but does go down, followed up by that. Silma trying to get in onto Zhao, but gets taken out by that huge last rites damage. Born to Shine gets cleaved off by the Swift Strike from Genji. And 40% on the core. There's still so many goats going. This herd is not quite gonna finish the core, but it's close. And now with a 4v4, they're looking to bush gank this team. Keep in mind, Lunara's Wisp does not give total vision. It's just regular vision at this point. She didn't take the talent for that. So Michelin getting a lot of the corruption damage, but ultimately that dot damage is going to be on the Uther to take him out. And Michelin, very low, is going to go ahead and back out here. The APOC going out, trying to flip Lunara, and they do get the stun there. And the Leaping Strike over Diablo, but ultimately both Lunara and Kerosene get taken out there, followed up by the Malthael, charged into that wall. I think. I'll have to check that on the replay, make sure that I was right. Die alone. And so now Genji and Blaze up, and it looks like they're looking to invade this here. They're pinging it. They know that, well, I don't know if they know that Seraph is here, but they know that the value is in this camp, and it's a 5v2. Flipping and charging and stunning, and there goes Blaze. Probably went the wrong direction on your disengage there. Obviously, probably, obviously, whatever. And Genji jumping in, gets charged, flipped, but no follow-up charge. Does he have that level 16? What did he... Oh, he just got 16, so never mind. This is where the fun begins, says Serolf. I don't know, this has been fun for me. What do you guys think? Anybody in chat? Anybody alive and awake out there? Alright. So there goes the first fort of the game for CCS. Charge and flip onto Genji. Fear is gonna finish him off as basically a 1v5. Genji versus the entire team. And he pays for it. He was not afraid until he was very afraid. And with this push advantage now, they're going to go ahead and come in here, get this camp, try to get a little bit of pressure out of it. This is a Mortar Punisher. Mortar Punishers do more individual damage now with their mortars. And so they'll be able to probably get this fort down once this is done. But Team Training Wheels is taking the pressure and getting top value. And keep in mind, that means that either lane that the next Punisher goes to gives them value. Either it goes straight into a keep or it goes right to the core. And there's Zhao getting caught out by the team, getting loads of damage. And this is, you know, this is a big positive for CCS, but, you know, Training Wheels are just putting pressure everywhere on the map. They've got the bot fort now is almost dead. And now there's a Shaman camp, and Karazim and Blaze looking to push that in, get value on the Punisher of Can't Counterpick Stupid. And it is, this fort's going down thanks to that camp that they got in the middle of that Punisher, so... Let's check in how much they got up here. So they got one tower, one wall. There's the second fort for Can't Counterpick Stupid. Looking to get some more value here. They've got an 80% Punisher. The last time we saw a Punisher this healthy, it went on to finish the keep and also 70% of the core, basically. The flip onto Serolf there, and the combustion is going to go out, getting some damage, but unfortunately it's not going to save him. The Divine Shield popping on to the Diablo, probably a missed target there, I'm guessing. Oh my goodness. So things happened and people died. So now you've got Gul'dan and you have a No Souls Diablo to defend against a level 20 push from Lunara, from Genji, from Karazim, and from Malthael. If you're CCS, I don't like my odds at this point. We do still have Horrify. We don't have APOC. And there's the Horrify. So they slowed it down. Charge stun onto the Karazim, but he's getting more damage onto Silma than Silma's getting onto him, unfortunately. And there's the dot damage coming from Confused. But by the way, there are also 3 catapults going crazy on this core, and that's going to be game number 2 going over to Team Training Wheels. So a little bit more even in this round than the second, or the, I'm sorry, than the first game. Let's see, do we have voice channels over here? We do. Let's go to that interview room. Can I get into the interview room? I can get into the interview room. All right, let's see if we can get an interview with somebody from this team here. Talents, just to show those off again. Level 20s had just come online for the Training Wheels.
Make sure somebody shouts out my mom.
All right, hi Zhao, welcome.
Hello, how's it going?
Oh my god, I'm so glad that you're here, Michael, and I want to start off by saying congratulations, you guys. You played really well. I cannot say enough about that gray main in game 1.
Okay. But who kept Grayman alive? That's the real question here.
I did.
Alright. Oh.
That's fair.
You're right.
That
You're
is
right.
fair. You guys did have quite the Tassadar Greymane bromance going down there.
Oh my
just
God.
shredding the Leoric about every 12 seconds or so. Finishing the Wizened Duelist stacks, at that top keep, getting the bottom fort before the first control point was even up. Like, that game was pretty much a clinic, and 99% of it was just Greymane tearing everybody to pieces. So I have to call you out for that, because you did an amazing job on that Greymane. And yes, of course, Xiao, yeah, you were there too.
Yeah. That was
Thank you,
it.
thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, was I? I didn't notice that, actually.
I didn't notice him really, but
Yeah, same.
Sure, yeah. It's hard to notice that Tassadar in the background, that really low win rate Tassadar that nobody plays these days, right?
no, I just never noticed Zhao. He just
Wow,
doesn't-
toxic. Toxic.
So tell me about your guys' ban strategy. So you guys had pretty much just started off with ban all the tanks. Is that something you guys have done, in general with all the other matches, or is this unique to this one?
It's kind of mean, but we look, see who's the lowest level on the enemy team, look at their top whatever heroes, and just go down the line. That's all.
All right, fair enough.
Bats carry over.
And so in this case, you looked at the team and you said, okay, so Valkymer is who we're targeting, and we're just gonna shred all of the tanks that they can play. Is that basically what you're going for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you know what? Fair enough. I have seen a couple of teams that focused specifically on healers or tanks, just to kind of choke it out, and then you get some really crazy meme teams, right? So I thought that's the direction you guys were going. What else do we want to talk about? What has your guys' experience been like in the Pleb Fiesta so far?
We troll a lot.
So when you say troll, tell me about that.
Well, we come up with some interesting strategies with our comps, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it does not. And when it doesn't work out, it looks really sad.
Yep. We've done main tank hammer, main tank.
I was there for the hammer.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was an interesting matchup, yeah, on Garden of Terror.
Flawless Rule does not die, though. Just saying.
Yeah.
Flawless Rule, it does not die.
Good deal. So, what else you guys got going on? Are you guys, playing in a whole bunch of different leagues at this point?
Right now we're in Heroes Lounge. That's going pretty well, Team Training Wheels. And yeah, the regular season is closing up. I think we have a shot of making playoffs, so we're really shooting for that at the moment.
Nice, awesome.
Yeah.
And are you guys keeping together and signing up for NGS for next season as well?
Us two won't be. I'll be out of the country for most of that. So I'm not a big fan of playing at 5 million ping.
What?
So, yeah, surprising, huh?
I'm sure it's fine if you're playing Tassadar.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Wait, but what if it's banned? Then I'm literally just sandbagging my team.
The one trick, damn.
Yeah, rip. But yeah.
Yeah, we're taking a little bit of break for NGS.
Gotcha. Understandable. That's fair. Good deal. Well, let's see. And then game 2, so Infernal Shrines, you guys get that mid lane Punisher. You get a kill onto, I think it was Kerrigan in the mid lane there. And then you just roll over everybody. You get the core down to 30% at that point, and it seemed like the game was going to be over there. You had a wall of goats behind you. So and then of course, yeah, that's when it was just Gul'dan and Diablo. So when you're at that point, it's still fairly early in the game. Do you think you're going to be able to get the core down, or at that point do you think you're just getting damage on it to set it up? Obviously we know how it turned out, but What was the call like at that point?
If we weren't Malthael Genji, we could end there, but we actually bring 0 damage to the core, and we didn't realize that. So we tried to end, and they just killed us, which was unfortunate.
Gotcha.
Why does the Malthael trait work on all? Wow,
Yeah,
this
right.
game's broken. This game sucks.
So the last play there at that bottom keep. So what happened there? Because it was basically, it started off with, okay, so there's things happening and they've got a nice, practically full Punisher, and then the team died. So walk me through that. Tell everybody at home how you guys made that work out for you. You guys know which one I'm talking about, yeah?
Yes, I remember. To be honest, I don't know what happened either.
Double poison. They kind of all died at the same time. I was just holding down Q.
I just pressed E a lot.
I pressed Q a lot, and I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah.
That's about what it looked like. Is that you guys showed up, you pushed buttons, they kind of all took damage, and then they just all died, and it was almost. I don't want to say it was almost instantaneous. It wasn't instantaneous. It was sustained, but the deaths happened, like 2 of them were almost like at the exact same time, and then followed by another and another within like a second. And it was like, okay, well, I guess we go win, right? So you guys played a fantastic match. Getting the first pick on both, having Counterpick pick up the map choices. Is there anything that you guys are, looking forward to doing in this Pleb Fiesta later in the season? Anybody that you want to play against, or maps or heroes that you're looking forward to have fun with?
I'm looking forward to winning. And who beat us? What's the logical positions that beat us?
Yeah.
I wanna so I wanna face them again, and I wanna clap them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
We're
right.
gonna 5-0 them.
Only team in our division we haven't beat, so going down.
There you go. Good deal. Well, if there's any shout outs you guys would like to make to teammates, opponents, friends, family, whatever you want to do, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, huge shout outs to our whole team. Everyone showed up and played a great game. Shout outs to everyone who watched and cheered us on, and like the other team, they put up a great fight. It was a ton of fun. Huge thanks to you for casting. Always love those widescreen casts, and then that wraps it up.
Thanks for casting.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And I don't know that you necessarily were doing it on purpose, but I appreciate that you guys had not started the game and allowed me to be able to join you here for this game. It's always fun.
I was totally on the forfeit arrow train. All right, we were outside. This guy, 15 minutes late. 15 minutes late, we forfeit you.
Yeah.
Easy. Oh well.
Fair enough.
I think you owe us some points, to be honest. Like,
you guys some points? I'll see what I can do about that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, well, good deal, guys. And it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad that I was able to get to cast you guys tonight. I'm casting tomorrow's game too. I don't remember who that is at the moment. It's I think it's Regen Blue. What is that? The 13th. So Regen Blue and Logical Decision. So that's at 11 o'clock Eastern if you happen to not be falling asleep. But otherwise,
it's like 9 o'clock for us.
Are you guys in Mountain Time?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So 9 o'clock. Yeah. Not too late.
I'm too young to be falling asleep at 9.
Fair enough. Good deal, guys. Well, good luck with the rest of the WAMPF season, which I think is coming to a close here. So we've got the playoffs starting here soon. So good luck with that setup, okay?
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Thank you, you too.
All right, and that is going to wrap us up here for the evening. So the big 2-0 victory coming out from Team Training Wheels, getting some spicy action out of some Cho'Gall, getting some crazy Greymane action, some 1v5s out of Genji. We got Volskaya Foundry, we got Infernal Shrines, we got kills, we got wipes, we got a little bit of everything in this. No Murkies, no Novas. But you know, there can't be a Murky. Murky was banned. But still some fun times in this. So if you are looking at one of these teams for the playoffs, I don't know exactly where everybody stands, but playoffs start next week in the Wano and Mongoose Pleb Fiesta. So make sure you check out that schedule and look for the rest of these matches. So again, the week of June 17th to the 23rd is the divisional finals, and then the Golden Sombrero Grand Finals sometime in there in the 24th through the 30th. I'm Arrow. It's been a pleasure casting for you this evening. It's late. I'm old. Whatever. And we'll see you tomorrow again at this channel, twitch.tv/Arrow of the Storm, for the logical decision versus Regen Blue, I think is what I said earlier. Is that right? I don't remember. Yes, logical decision Regen Blue at 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific time. Have a good night, and we'll see you soon.